Hello, welcome. Now we shall discuss that whether economics is a science or is it an art or is it a positive or normative science. So before we categorize economics as a science or art or a positive or normative science, we must know the definition of all these types of subjects. What is a science? Science is a systematized body of knowledge where things are collected, the data is analyzed, classified, and generalization is drawn on the basis of the observation. That is a science, which also traces the cause and effect relationship of certain aspects. Say, for example, throw something up, it will fall down. It will fall because of the gravitational pull. So, gravitational pull is the cause, and then things fall down, that is the effect. So, cause and effect relationship is traced. So, it's a science. That's the law of gravity, an asset of the physics. So, science is a systematized body of knowledge where data is collected, classified, analyzed, and the generalization or theory is drawn on the basis of the observation and proved facts. Okay, so is economics a science in this sense? We have to say yes, because in economics also we observe man's economic behavior in society, we collect the data, classify, analyze, and then we draw the generalization which proves good at all time anywhere in the world under the given conditions. Okay, now about that ceteris paribus condition we will discuss later, but before that we have to say that economics is a science because it also traces the cause and effect relationship of different economic variables. Now, what is it? As we have seen in the law of gravity, things will fall down due to the gravitational pull. Likewise, in economics also, if we take the example of law of demand, people demand more of output at lesser prices. That means if price of commodity falls, people demand more of that commodity, and it proves good. It also traces the cause and effect relationship here. So demand rises, you can say that is the effect. So what could be the cause? Fall in price. So due to fall in price, there is rise in demand. Say for example, during hot summer, suppose if you go out, you may drink soft drink. It is quite natural behavior. So there will be more demand for soft drinks during summer. That is due to weather condition. And if the price of soft drink falls, definitely the demand for soft drink will rise. Rather than buying one ice cream cone at rupees 20, if price falls to 10 rupees, you will be able to buy two at the same price. So more is demanded at lesser prices. So given the condition that ceteris paribus, if other things remain constant, if price of a commodity falls, demand for that commodity will rise. So that is the generalized behavior. That is the theory drawn in economics, based on the observation, classification, and collection of data, and then the conclusion, judgment that is drawn on the basis of these observations. So economics can be conveniently considered as science. It also utilizes the tools of maths and stats, where we also do have a separate subject called econometrics. That is a combination of economics, maths and stats, where we are able to exactly draw the conclusion, exactly predict the future demand and future supply, or things like so. So that being the condition, economics can be conveniently categorized as science. And is it an art or not? Is it a pure science? Strictly speaking, economics is not a pure science. It is not as exact as that of maths or physics or chemistry, because we deal with human mind, human behavior in society, human mind which is dynamic, which is ever changing. So that being the condition, we cannot say that all the theories that are drawn in economics are exact and proves good in all the times. So that is not a possibility, because man's tastes, preferences, income, total amount of population, technical know-how, skill set, everything keeps changing and every now and then. So it is very dynamic. Fashion changes, tastes and preferences will change, weather conditions will change. So accordingly the people's demand, supply or things like so that will change, everything will change in economics. So since we deal with human mind, so which is dynamic, which is not constant, we cannot say that economic theories will prove good and always it is, it possesses the scientific character or things like so. It is also an art, because art is an application of knowledge, where if you see on stage the people will perform, they sing or they dance, or even they go for painting, so there they apply their mind. In the similar fashion, economics is an art where the application of economic theory is done in practice. So you take your own example. If you, before spending money, don't you think that whether the commodity which you are going to buy gives you the maximum satisfaction or not? Don't you think so? So before we spend money, whether the person is a student of economics or not, that's immaterial. Every human being is a student of economics. Whether he studies the subject or not, that's a different issue. Before spending money, we think 2-3 times that whether the good which we are going to buy out of our money that is spent, that gives us the maximum satisfaction or not. We think, we weigh the proportion of our income spent on the commodity and the level of satisfaction which we derive at after the consumption of the commodity. Okay, that we will weigh and we will see. That is called law of equi-marginal utility. Okay, when we spend money, we should get the equal amount of satisfaction from that commodity which we buy. Okay, and then likewise we buy different or hundreds of commodities, and for all of those goods we do spend money, and then we weigh the level of satisfaction for the proportion of our income spent on those commodities, and it should be equal to each other. That is called law of equi-marginal utility. And of course definitely it also holds good, and there also we apply our mind. It is a subjective concept. Different individuals income differs. Okay, individuals income differ, and then of course their level of satisfaction from the same commodities consumption is different from different individuals. So we can conveniently say that economics is an art, because we think, we apply our mind, we apply our knowledge of economics to conclude exactly whether the good which we are going to buy gives us the maximum satisfaction for the proportion of our income spent on that. So economics is an art. It is application of mind. We apply our mind, we apply our knowledge of economics before we make any purchases. This is just one example. This is consumer behavior. And is economics is whether it is a positive science or normative science, that we will require to discuss. If we have to say what is positive science states things as they are, as they exist. Okay, say suppose India is overpopulated, so it's a positive statement. Okay, and normative science is one which passes the value judgment, where solution for the problem is found. If India is overpopulated, then in economics we can say that yes, India is overpopulated. That's a positive statement. It states things as it is existing. And normative aspect of it is Indian people should control the population. So Indian government can initiate the family planning measures. It's already in place. Okay, so this is the solution to the problem. So in case we are able to find the solution to the problem, it becomes a normative science. So where value judgment is passed, where the solution to the problem is found. So in that way, economics is both a positive science and a normative science, because in economics we state things as they exist, right? Like that of the population explosion, or there is a widespread unemployment problem, widespread illiteracy, poverty, things like so. And at the same time, we don't stop there. We will suggest the remedies. Okay, the government should provide employment opportunities, or government at least should create the opportunity for the new young entrepreneurs to avail the facilities from the banks, right? Things like so, and to establish special economic zones wherein all the infrastructure is built up by the government, and then new entrepreneurs can utilize their skills, and then they can utilize those infrastructure for the further development or for the purpose of production and for the generation of employment. So that being the condition, both we advocate and condemn, we also state things as they are. So economics is both a positive science and a normative science. Other concepts we can discuss in our next video. Thank you.